That's, I mean, I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to use PC, but that's just how Kenshi works. I love that game. That's such a fun, weird game.
It's so I think it was the Mandalore night review of it, and like it looks to be incredibly deep once you finally get into the bones of it.
Well, you got a one like RTSs and two like crazy, weird setting post-apocalyptic RPGs.
It felt like what fucking Mad Max would actually feel like.
Yes, correct.
A very glib, morbid hellhole to live in.
Yeah, it's honestly probably one of my favorite games, and it's just it really is my vibe. You know, I've always been into really weird, shitty indie games, and this is definitely one of them. I've played almost 400 hours of it. Like for a weird, dinky indie game, like that's that's a lot of fucking time.
Oh, it's simply incredible.
Although that said, I've played like 1,300 hours in Europe before. So that's a bit
I
crazier.
I love it. I think I think you love it for all the same reasons I love Pathologic too.
What, Kenshi?
Yeah.
Unoptimized?
Not that it's unoptimized, but like how fucking difficult it is.
It's not that hard, but that said, I did challenge myself to start off with the hardest start, which is you're left out in the middle of nowhere, bleeding out from a limb loss, so you're stuck crawling in the middle of the desert, and you have to crawl into town and hope and pray that the guards don't kill you because you're a cripple. And even if you make it there, because literally anything will kill you and eat you, not an easy start.
Not an easy start, the slightest.
Kind of brutal, honestly, because I did actually get really unlucky. I got like killed by monsters like 3 times in a row, and I finally made it to town. And sure enough, a fucking guard was like, "Ugh, we don't need you here," and then they just killed me. It's hilarious. I love that shit. But eventually, I did actually manage it, and I bought like a really shitty wooden stump for a leg, so I could kind of like sort of work my way around, even though I only had one arm. Oh, it was funny. Yeah, talk about starting low. Game's tough. I had to like, I had to like grab rocks and sell them so I could buy like the shittiest bread and dried gristle. See, that's Kenshi. Kenshi's crazy, but it's like you can start really weak, and by the mid game to end game, you can actually do things. You can face enemies. You can definitely do different things and actually like feel like you've made incredible progress. It's quite cool. Quite cool. I'm a fan.
I was a fan.
You know what really, really angers me?
What?
The fact that Steam did not start tracking playtime until like I had already stopped playing Gary's mod.
Yeah. No. Like I was thinking about that. I was like, "There's no way I only had 100 hours on Gary's mod. There's no way. No shot."
Yeah, not correct. Like I barely played it by the time that they even started tracking it. And keep in mind, they started tracking it like just before, probably for at least maybe 6 to 12 months or something before they actually displayed that data. So you didn't know how long you played it, but they were tracking it. So by the time that they started actually displaying it, I had already like stopped playing Gary's mod or something, but I was up to like 600 hours or whatever. I'm like, wow, that's not right. That's not right. I spent like 10 hours a day playing Gary's mod. At my peak, I was straight up addicted to the
Like
RP scene.
you, my brother and I, like became the masters of the wire mod. Like we were. It was crazy how much time.
No, I wasn't very good at the wire mod.
My brother was a fucking whiz with it. I'll be right back.
I like building things. That was my. I did. I dig to that. There is no plot. It's EDF. You kill things. You eat things. You turn ants into steaks. Don't fucking judge us, man.
Alright, I'm back.
You damn rookie. Hi.
Just a rookie.
Nice job, rookie.
Way to blow up the mothership, rookie.
Yeah, that was really cool what you just did, rookie.
Get back and clean up the bathrooms before you leave.
Maybe you'll actually achieve something one day. Hell yeah.
You know how infantilizing it was to like have to wait until the first sergeant checks you're cleaning the office in order to leave?
No, but that sounds pretty bullshit.
Like, hey, first sergeant, let you guys go after he checks the building. After y'all cleaned it. It was like, where was first sergeant when it came to cleaning time? Why wasn't he there? Feels kind of weird, don't it?
Well, guess it's just all part of the bullshit, Joey. Bullshit of being in the U.S. military. It's all part of that bullshit. Where is Total Warhammer? How was Warhammer Total War? I was wrong. What was it? Oh, did I put it up here maybe? Oh, I did, yeah. Yeah, I have the game. It shows I have the game. That's weird. It shows you have the game too. Yeah, I think of the starting factions in the game, they're a little bit like underwhelming, or they were when I first played it in the beginning. I played the original Warhammer like quite a fair bit because it was a little crazier and a little more interesting. But and with Warhammer 2, you can play as the Skaven, which are the rats, and they're kind of crazy. They're like, believe it or not, the most technologically developed, because it's kind of like if you gave weird humanoid rats some super advanced technology. It's like, it's hilarious. If you gave like rats today a nuclear power generator that like mutated them endlessly and you probably killed most of them, but if some of them turned smart, I think after 1,000 years of being around that nuclear power generator, they would probably find some pretty wicked ways to use it. And that's the Skaven in Warhammer, and it's great. That's how they do it. Grimdark indeed. However, playing them is such a fucking chore and hassle. I really... They're not suitable for RTS games, in my opinion, because you have a bunch of like shitty meat shield units that just like run away at first contact. You're like, oh my god, we lost 20 out of our 200 units, run away! You know, the rats, they scurry and they fucking bail. And and there's no mechanic around that other than the same mechanic that's been in Total War forever, which is, oh, they run away and they'll usually come back and rally somewhere elsewhere, so you have to find them on the battlefield and order them back into combat, or else they'll just sit there and waste your fucking time and resources. It's kind of annoying. That's the one thing I don't like about this game. Once you start getting units that can actually fight, the Skaven are okay, but like the Skaven as like a race in Total War don't really mesh with the game mechanics, which I hate personally. But all the other races are pretty cool.
You're pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I am. But I think you might like the lizards. because the lizards are kind of like orcs.
Orcs
In
are
fact,
like-
the orcs are kind of like orcs, in fact, and you might like those too. But I don't know if there's any orcs in this one. I can't remember. There probably are. Yeah, the cool thing about Warhammer 2 is the fact that if you have Warhammer 1 as well, you can load up Mortal Realms, which is the grand campaign, which consists of the entire continents from Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2. So you'll have America, well, the equivalent of America, the equivalent of South America, the equivalent of most of Africa, and the equivalent of most of Europe. So you'll have like 4 whole continents to fuck around on, plus the crazy fantasy island of High Elf Land, which is just in the middle of the Atlantic, or the equivalent of the Atlantic. It's very weird. I don't know. I don't know much about how you enjoy your RTS games. But based on everything I've heard about you enjoying orcs, something tells me you'd really enjoy having just like massive amounts of dudes.
Yeah.
That don't run away at first contact, so probably just orcs. Yeah. Or lizards. Orcs or lizards. The lizard people are hilarious, because you'll get fucking dinosaurs. You can literally send a Stegosaurus into combat.
Amazing. Fantastic.
It makes you feel very happy. You can also get, like, I think they're called Carnifexes, but they're literally just T-Rexes. So you can send T-Rexes into combat too.
Groundbreaking stuff.
Yeah, it's honestly pretty fucking dope. And you can get, like, slightly larger lizards to also send into combat. It's all just lizards. It's funny. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't understand about Warhammer 2. Some of the races don't really show up in 40k. I guess maybe like they've just evolved beyond it, or been like extincted, you know? But I don't know. I wonder.
Beats me.
Yeah, weird. Who knows? I want to play Valheim.
You do that.
I want to get you and Mikey and Xavier all into Valheim, and we're all gonna play it together. And you're gonna play it, damn it, because it's an amazing game. We're all gonna have fun together, and we're gonna be happy, like Valheim Vikings. I'll even start over.
Oh, hey, little girl. Give me some
Fact-
stuff.
You kind of have to start over because they released like a whole ass expansion. But I'm gonna wait on Valheim. I'll wait at least a year, see where it is. Maybe like at the end of 2022. And I presume we'll get at least another couple big expansions. Not expansions, but like content updates within the next year or so. By the end of that, there should be plenty to fucking do in that game. Not that you even ever went into the swamps, I don't think. Swamps are fucking hell. But it's a cool ass place to go.
Can't go wrong with more morphine. As I always say.
More morphine. You're not the only one who says that. You are not the only person who says that. Concerning, yes, but you know, it's alright, don't worry about it. All good. Oh, I want to start Medieval Dynasty over again. It sucks. Because now that I finally have, like, game knowledge, I want to, like, do it all over again and actually, like, make better choices. Because I kind of locked myself into a shitty spot.
Hello.
Hello, Xavier.
Have you
Actually, you
figured
know
out
what?
the game or still?
No, we're just playing our own shit at this point, just talking. Are you guys interested
Nice.
in Project Zomboid?
Yeah, I have it.
It's co-op now.
That's true.
and
Project what?
Project Zomboid. It's like a kind of zombie survival game, except it's
Isometric.
it's kind of hard, but it's kind of interesting, and I mean,
Okay.
it plays pretty well, honestly.